Good morning, good afternoon, good evening.
Good whatever time it is that you're tuning in to today's episode. Karibu sana, welcome, bienvenue to the AYLF podcast.
Yes, karibuni sana, welcome to season 2.
Again, season 2. God, I've already started messing up. Jesus, season 2. Welcome to season 2 of the AYLF podcast. My God, it feels like it's been ages, it's been years, it's been forever, but we are back again and we are super excited for what this season is gonna bring.
Yeah, that makes me go to a song.
Na,
we're back again. There's a song like that.
Jesus.
In my head. It is.
Clearly,
it is
I think we're of a different generation. But anyway,
well.
My name is Sharon and Beth.
My name is Beth.
Yes.
Welcome to the AYLF podcast.
Yeah. So, who are we? Who are you? Who are you, Beth? What are you all about?
My name is Beth, as I said.
Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself without saying your name first?
No. Okay, I think it makes it a bit more interesting, but yeah, you can.
It's interesting. It's just
sometimes you tell someone to introduce themselves and then, it's monotonous. It's what is expected. Introduce yourself. My name is Beth.
Maybe at the end of this season, it should be... we should come up with another way of introducing it.
Yeah.
Without saying your name.
Anywho,
I am half of the AYLF podcast host.
Yeah.
And other than that, I do quite a number of things outside. I'm a poultry farmer. I'm in the communication space, digital marketing. I also do moderate and host corporate events. I have tried hosting one wedding.
Ooh.
I'm seen at a wedding.
Uliweza kusai watu wa dance?
Let me tell you. I love my friends.
Hey, being a wedding MC can be so brutal.
But yeah, that's who I am. Other than my career path, I am bubbly and I love going out. Yeah, I'm learning not to introduce myself with what I do or the titles.
That's so nice, because you're more than all that. If you strip all that away, then who then do you become?
Exactly. Where is your identity?
Yeah, because are you through introducing yourself? Because as you're introducing yourself, the things you're mentioning, I'm like, I also do that. So then, if we introduce ourselves by what we do, then what's the difference between you and me? But anyway, my name is Chabaibai. Chabaibai means the happy one. I feel like I don't say that a lot, but my name means the happy one. Yeah.
You say it a lot.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't say it enough then.
On camera.
On camera, yeah. My name means the happy one. Most of the time when I tell people that, the first thing they ask me, so then are you a happy person? And then I tell them, the days. I mean, happiness. Yeah, also happiness doesn't necessarily mean that you'll find me laughing from. Surely it can be exhausting. Unaamka tu you're laughing.
And laughter, though.
Yeah, but when someone says happy, the first thing that comes to your mind is this person is always smiling. This person is always laughing, full of whatever. But yes, I try to be full of joy. I think, and even today I was telling Beth before we started, I feel like I have some joy bubbling in my heart. I don't even know why, but again, my name is Chabaibai. I just had to. I had to.
Good one.
Yeah. So other than what Beth has said, which I think I do most of the things she's also said, I'm a podcaster. I have my own podcast called The Abundant Self Podcast, which is a baby actually of this podcast.
When you start earning, you need to bring
and let her ties up. I will. Yeah, and also like what pays my bills, I think at the moment is digital marketing, content creation. Sometimes I don't think I've moderated. I have gotten any moderating gigs this year, but I have gotten a gig for next year.
Hey,
like an engagement as in to moderate a gig sometime next year. So, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I just love the fact that we've been called to live abundant lives. I always feel like, I think a part of my identity is usually all about how do I live a full life. You know how these days guys are always just posting on social media, just someone just posting sherehe, ama amepost tu picha anakaa vizuri anasema living my best life. For me, that whole concept intrigues me. And now for me, it's just challenging that, okay, you're living your best life based off of what?
Yeah.
Based off of sherehe? Based off of what? Based off of what exactly? That's a huge part of my identity. Just living a full life, and a life that I think pleases God at the end of the day, because why? What else would I be doing? Right?
You just made my introduction look like so vague. Yeah, I also love God. Yeah, but
Yeah, so that's who we are, and I think you'll be seeing a lot of these faces, these two beautiful
this is to
faces.
say, to our YouTube family, welcome on board. We have a whole season on Spotify.
Yeah, exactly.
And other
podcast listening platforms. Yeah.
So be sure to check us out. But other than that, who is AYLF?
Yeah.
Why are we here? You know, and so AYLF stands for Africa Youth Leadership Forum.
Yeah.
I think I don't say that in full so many times. I catch myself. Inafaa kuwa forum, ama inafaa kuwa nini?
Ni Africa, nama ni Africa.
Yes, and we are an organization that is cut across East Africa and other African countries.
Yeah.
A community of young people who believe in the leadership style of Jesus, who cuts across very many religions.
Yeah.
Jesus is given different names in different religions.
Religions, exactly.
So basically that's who AYLF is, and we operate majorly in campuses because our aim is to equip student leaders.
Yeah.
And to build capacity for them. Most often than not, we find student leaders become the people who are our national leaders. They are leaders in our churches, in our mosques, in our temples, you know, in the corporate world. So that is who we are in a nutshell.
Yeah.
But please be sure to check us out on Spotify.
Yes.
We did an extensive episode on who
we are as AYLF, yes.
The different aspects that
of AYLF. Yeah. So if you want to get to learn more about AYLF, you can check out season 1 again on our Spotify and other podcast listening platforms. You can also check out our website and also check out our social media pages, which I believe are going to be left on the description box. Yeah.
Yeah, so that felt like housekeeping. Now let's get
to the meat of this episode.
Ilikuwa starter.
Yeah.
You know, when you go.
Now it's time for the buffet. Lazima anze na inishonga nini? Ban na supu.
Yes, just start appetizer.
You know appetizer?
Yeah.
Yo, I thought appetizers are like fruits and stuff.
That's
you drink soup to get appetite for food.
That's the whole.
You know, I wanted to make a joke, but I feel like it would be so inappropriate.
It's a safe space.
No, like so the like Kikuyu people who put like
no. Okay. No, that's getting past now, but moving on swiftly. I had to text you.
Oh Lord. Oh,
moving on swiftly.
Let's go ahead. Yeah.
Today we want to ask you, how are you?
Really?
Like really. How are you? And remove the normal answers.
I'm fine.
I'm
good.
Okay. I'm doing good. You know,
there's another one. All things considered, I think I'm okay.
Oh gosh,
I say that a lot.
But
nikikwambia utawezana. If I tell you how, like in my head, I'm usually like, if I really tell you how I'm doing, utawezana. If I really, because you know it's a question
that sounds like
people
a
ask.
though.
No, like sometimes you're going through so much and someone just asks you that question and you're like, okay, if I really told you how I'm doing, you know, every time you ask someone how they're doing, what answer do you expect?
Honestly, I actually do not expect that I am okay.
You don't?
I am learning because now I'm also teaching myself to say I'm not okay. But then again, I'm like, please, if I tell you I'm not okay, do not probe further. I do not have the capacity to go into it right now. But actually, most times when I tell people, siko poa, they don't probe further.
Really?
Most people don't.
Because me, honestly, I don't know if it's a good thing. But for me, every time someone tells me they're not okay, I get weirded out. Because now I'm like, okay, sa tufanye.
Exactly.
So even now for me, when I'm responding to someone asking me, how are you? I'm also responding from that headspace of, sasa if I told you, how would utawezana? So most of the time when I ask someone, how are you? It's always like I'm expecting them to tell me, I'm doing okay, so that we can keep the, conversation going. Because sometimes talking about your problems is uncomfortable.
But where's the place of authenticity in that? So?
Yeah. But how are you really? Let's have that conversation.
You're just being
talk about it
right now. But oh well, it's not a therapy session.
It's not. Uh-huh.
But how are you really doing?
How am I really doing?
All factors considered.
All factors considered. But it's so interesting because today someone posted something on their status, on their WhatsApp status, just a few minutes ago. I cannot remember what it was. And I wrote, you know how these days you can't sigh on like a reply, you can say, so you just read the word sigh. Mm-hmm. So that's how I responded. And of course, immediately the question this person asked me was, are you okay? Mm. And I was like, I'm actually just taking a day at a time. And I felt it was an honest answer. How am I really? I feel like I have a lot of things going on in my life right now. And personally, I spend a lot of time in my head. Like my head, I'm usually imagining if people could hear what's happening in people's minds. Like unaona vile ukipitanga kwa in the neighborhood unaweza sikia kuna kelele kwa nyumba ya mtu fulani. I feel like if we could be able to hear what happens in people's minds, if someone just passed, mtu angepita kando yangu, they'd hear like a lot of noise. Like is in my mind. Like my mind is a noisy place. I live in a noisy mind. And I don't know if it's also because of the fact that I am I don't know if it's a creative thing where like always thinking about ideas, or rather always coming up with ideas, always coming up with, I don't know, just something just comes, like literally you sleep with a notebook next to your bed because you'll sleep and think of something and wake up and just want to write it down because you don't want to forget. So because I spend a lot of time in my head.
Wait, that's a thing?
Yeah.
You sleep with the notebook?
No, like for real. No, for now, I mean, my generation, you sleep with your phone. Like I could literally have an idea for an episode. And I know.
Oh, it's like how musicians have a lot of voice.
Yes, voice nini. I also have those actually. I also have those. Like where maybe I'm too tired to type at night. I'm so sleepy. So I just wake up and I record myself saying, so I have an idea for this, this and that. Let's think about that in the morning. Because I'll sleep and then asubuhi, itakuwa imepotea. Like there are just ideas that never come back. So because I spend a lot of time in my head, how I overanalyze situation, how I literally take things apart in my mind. I even call myself a professional thinker. Sometimes professional overthinker. Sometimes like when I'm going through a lot, it means I'm spending a lot of time in my mind overanalyzing the many things that I'm going through. So now I've been teaching myself to take each day at a time, where I'm really trying to quiet the noise in my mind.
How are you doing that?
Well, the first thing I usually do when I'm sleeping, I listen to rain sounds. If you check out my Spotify, I have a profile for this channel that just does rain and thunderstorms. So that literally just tries and puts my mind in a...
The rain in your life does not
like
does not do it. Your Spotify ndio.
Let me tell you, it could even be raining outside. It could be raining outside, but Beth, you'll find me with my AirPods with rain in my ear so that I can sleep. So that's that is just one of the ways I try to quiet the noise in my mind. So now, since I'm overanalyzing, I'm overthinking, I'm over kudimbua to what I'm going through, now I've just been in a space of, let's just take it one day at a time. Let's deal with today's problems, tomorrow's problems, what that difficult conversation I need to have with someone. That right now we're at the end of the year, so we're having a lot of Q4
reviews,
appraisals. I'll deal with that then. So I mean that when you ask me how I'm doing, I just say I'm just literally taking a day at a time.
Yeah.
I have so much going on. Like I was even telling someone yesterday, man, I miss being a kid. But the only thing I was worrying about, I think, was my homework. And even that used to stress me out. But what I wore was my parents' responsibility.
But
even
look at
just
you.
showering.
When you are in that state, you are just, I want to be a grown up.
Yeah, but that's how I'm doing, I think in a nutshell.
But you've actually not told us. You've just said you're having a lot of things. What is a lot of things?
I got a new job this year. And I thought I had been in corporate. I thought I had experienced corporate this many years that I have been working. But then now it's like God just took me and threw me in the deep end of corporate. Where now there's even a lot of, I don't know if I want to call it office politics. But now you're in a space where you literally have to deal with difficult people. I myself recognize as a difficult person. People would say that these days, I recognize myself. I identify as that anyway. That's not the kind of conversation we're having, please. But for me, I know I'm a difficult person. So now it's like two hard-headed people coming to work together. And now where I work with, I happen to work with my age mates. So everyone knows. Kila mtu anajua. No one wants to be ahead of the other person. Like, no one wants to be the one who's being told to do this. Everyone wants to be in a position of authority. It's almost like everyone wants to be their own line manager, where you're the one person managing yourself, which is good. But when you're working with people, like,
you're part of a team.
And you're part of a team, sometimes you truly just have to compromise. So, like, dealing with that, man, it's just been hectic, honestly. I cannot say I'm doing okay. Like, I don't know. I can't say I'm doing okay, and I cannot say that ati siko poa. I feel like I'm in a place of figuring a lot of things out and balancing also.
And I feel like most times we think we are supposed to have it figured out.
Yeah.
All together. But then again, you sit with people in their 50s and their 60s. They're like, so, have you figured life out? Yeah, that was shocked. My dad telling me he's almost getting to 60s. I was like, I realized last month I used money vibaya. And I'm like, first and foremost, I have not even, in my head I was like, you. And then I know you are the person who knows how to handle finances well.
Yeah.
And he's telling me, I did not prioritize man. Hey, I'm like, this comes across. Just that my priorities and his are totally different.
But still, the places
the concept is, so I think it's a lie that we've been told that we need to have it all figured out.
Yeah.
I
think I'm in that nini, what do they call it? I don't want to call it quarter life crisis, but when you turn 25 and the kind of pressure that society puts on you, I've just revealed my age on camera, but yeah. When you turn 25 and society tells you, by 25 you need to have done this and that, or you need to have achieved this. And I had put a lot of that pressure on myself when the year began, because I knew this was the year I was hitting my silver jubilee. And I'm just like, Lord. I even said it in my podcast. Like, I had written, when I was 22, I had written the things I want to achieve at 25, and I just achieved one. But then now, looking back, I'm like, but then there's a lot of other things that I've achieved that weren't in my dream list or that vision board then, that I cannot possibly say, this is not, I haven't achieved anything. Like, I can't just throw all those achievements away because they weren't in my list then. But all I can say is that I am taking a day at a time. I think I'm gonna stick to that. I really am taking a day at a time. Being kind to myself, being gracious to myself.
How are you doing that?
Being gracious to myself.
What does being kind to yourself look like?
Being kind to myself looks like, again, because I spend a lot of time in my head, it means I also overanalyze my mistakes, the kind of mistakes I've made. Like, you know, have you ever had those moments where unakatu hivi unakumbuka kitu ulifanya, you cringe all of a sudden, you're like, did I really do that? Did I really say that? So now it's just from a point of, Chabaiba, you're human. You're a human being. There's only so much you can expect from yourself. The world already expects so much from you. I am the last person who should also again be putting, it's like pressing down on that pressure that the world is already putting on my shoulders. So it's always reminding myself, I am a human being. And even today, I remember, I think these days I like talking to God while I'm on the boda. But I was telling God, me, I'm not going to do your job. Where I'm saying, why is my future not, why are things not working out? It is your job to take care of my future. My job is to simply serve you and do whatever it is you want me to do.
Yeah.
Like, my job is literally just to walk in obedience. And then the other things of worrying about my future, or I need to have done this, I need to have achieved this, let God do what he needs to do. So that is what I mean by being kind to myself. Like, just telling myself,
Letting go.
Yeah, it's literally just the concept of surrender. We're literally just saying, you know what that thing of when the time is right, God will make it happen, or just let it go.
It's interesting. That's my screensaver.
Oh, when the time is right.
When the time is right, the Lord will make it happen.
Yeah.
Isaiah 60. Verse 22.
Yeah, so that's how I try to be kind to myself, just according grace to myself, and letting myself know that I'll be okay. Yeah.
And for sure you will be.
I think I like that thing of nothing lasts forever. It works both ways. You cannot be happy all the time, and you also cannot be sad all the time. Like, nothing lasts forever.
The beauty of seasons.
Yeah. And it's just important to know how to thrive there. But yeah, enough about me. How are you? How are you really?
Mimi niko aje. Let's start with today.
Okay. How is the weather? How's the weather we're having?
Oh, wow. A friend of mine told me, I asked them, what is that one word that I say so often? And they're like, wows. Wows is the word. I feel lighter.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think transition should be my surname. I think
you can do it. You can call a lawyer and say, which is best transition.
The queen of transitions.
That's the season you've been in.
It's been hills and
valleys.
liking the beauty of having visuals because now you can see what I'm doing.
Oh yeah. Ukiwa kwa audio hata huwezi jua what.
Yeah. But the last episode we talked about how we had both started a new season in
2023,
in the corporate space and everything.
Yeah.
And then now I'm again on transition.
Shifting, yeah.
You know those ones of where?
Yeah.
Where?
Those memes on TikTok. Those Pablo Escobar's memes.
Yeah. I'm feeling lighter. And I've been going through also a program that recently we did a session on forgiveness, and I also think that also has contributed to me feeling lighter because it's letting go of the baggage, letting go of things that you are carrying for quite some time.
Oh well, yeah.
But also, as you're letting go, you're also amassing others. Yeah. Yeah, you know, that's life.
Yeah, actually, yeah. It's like you're creating space for...
Exactly.
Yeah, for what's coming next.
But I can say I feel lighter. I am in a space where I feel seen and supported.
Wow, that's such a nice space to be in.
Yeah. not to say that it's been an easy thing, but I think we're having a conversation this week, and I was saying how my family this week has really affirmed
they've really shown up for
my
you.
abilities, and when you're transitioning, you're kind of not sure nafaa kuacha ama nafaa kuenda ama nafaa
you're literally at a crossroads where you literally have no idea
exactly
what step you need to take.
Exactly. And has it been easy? No. I'm thinking, okay, my mind has just drifted to how in social studies and GHCRE.
It has really drifted.
GHCRE. If you know, you know.
What? What? No.
Anyway, when social studies.
Yes, that one I understand.
Social studies. I'm not saying my age, but when you asked factors that affects,
soil erosion. Is that social studies?
Attack from neighboring community.
Oh, yeah. Where your mind has drifted.
You even made me lose the train of that. Mind of a creative. But like looking at different aspects of my life in terms of financial, physical, mental, emotional, looking at how that has been playing out. One part will be thriving, and the other one is really
in the ghettos.
Trying not to thrive.
Yeah, trying
really hard not to thrive. So it's been, today you're emotionally like, why am I here? What am I doing here? Then tomorrow you wake up, you're like, you have like a ball of energy and ideas come in, and you're like, yes, by the way, that idea I should implement it with work, with my personal life and all these things. So being in that limbo, especially as a creative, has been it's like you're here, you're cruising, then you're like, and then your wave, so, but in all that, I have seen having a support system, what that does. Even when you're not okay, there's someone within your circle who God will either use or mtu tu atakwambia kikitu ushangae sasa umetoka wapi. Like it's interesting, 2 weeks ago I attended the Thursday group, and I was going through a hard patch that week, and one of us, I don't know, he doesn't know I'm going to speak about this, so I won't say his name. And he's like, hi, it's been a minute. We stayed for like a few months without seeing each other. And he tells me, but I've been praying for you. I was like, oh damn, that's why I came for this meeting.
Yeah, you needed to hear that.
That is why I came for this meeting. So that's how I have been, and I have had periods where I have felt really unworthy, and at times I'm like, sasa mi huyu ni nani? Mi ni nani, and the little things that have made me now get out of that ghetto have been something that I knew I should be doing. I used to do it during COVID times, because that's when you didn't have people to tell you. Everybody was dealing with their own stuff.
Yeah, everyone was going through a lot during that time.
And I just sat down one day and I was like, what am I going to counter these thoughts? So I just wrote on sticky notes and stuck on my mirror, countering thoughts of what I was feeling at that time. So that has, it has had quite some magical impact, per se. Because now, every time I am leaving the house, I will look at myself in the mirror.
Yes. Yeah.
And I will see, I am worthy. I am beautiful. You know?
Yeah.
And it's so interesting. Like how
judge you.
the small things that we do change our mindset on how we either view the world, how we feel about ourselves, how we feel about people around us.
Yeah.
So this, I think, for you, how you're saying about having the water,
just listening to the sound of the rain
and stuff, helping you calm down.
Just it's like centering me and just coming to a place of quietness. I think I know it's so ironic. It's the sound of the rain in my ears, but somehow it just helps me to quiet down, to just quiet myself and my spirit, and be like, okay, today is over, today is done. Let us sleep. And then we'll take care of tomorrow. I'm
inclined to want to know, you know, most times we talk about during the hard times, how we want the centering, we want the, you know, we want a mindset that is reliable and all these things. But life is not always about the hard times. So even as we're coming to a conclusion of this, I'd like to know, how do you, when your headspace is at a good space, when you're in a happy space, how do you ensure you recognize that as well?
Let me tell you. You see the way you are saying your middle name is transitions. Like it would be you'd be the queen of transitions. For me, it's systems. Like systems. Like, you know, systems, when you put in place systems in your life, they're meant to work whether or not you're having a high moment or a low moment. So like for me, even that thing, you know, like a system is just basically, I think from the top of my mind, is just a combination of working parts that have been put together. A car is a system. A car, if the nini is not working, the steering wheel is not working, then the car is not gonna move. So you always have to make sure the system, like there's a system in place, and even like it's working at its optimum. So for me, I think for me, what has even held me together, even in those days when it's good, is those systems that I have put in place. And part of a system would be when I go to sleep, whether it's saying a prayer, whether it's reading my Bible, whether it's listening to my rain sounds as I sleep, I will still do that when I'm on a good day. Sometimes actually, even the fact that I have made it a habit to maybe, for example, listen to rain sounds, even when like it's a good day, even when I actually don't need to quiet myself down, I still find myself listening to the rain sounds, because it's sort of, it's just part of a system. So for me, I think it's just seeing how do you create a system for yourself that is able to sustain you when you're having the good days and the bad days. Like, how do you take care of yourself mentally, where you don't have to, it's not that now you bring out that system when now things are not working. Like, it just needs to constantly be moving all the time, so that, you know, like, it's sort of like, it gives you a sense of preparedness, where you don't have to wait till something is not working for you to say, Kai, by there I needed to have this. I needed to already have equipped myself with this. But you see, if you're equipping yourself with certain things, like if you're always reading about how to take care of yourself, whether it's mentally, emotionally, whatever it is, if you've built a community around yourself, where it's easy to talk to people, then even when you're having a bad day, it's going to be even easier for you to plug into that same community. But then if you haven't built that system, it's going to be so hard to start building it, because at that time you don't even have the capacity. Like if I'm not used to talking to you even when things are going well, when now I need to actually talk to someone, you know, even that action of me giving you a phone call is usually so difficult. Like, I'm just like, my Lord, How? Because me, kama mimi, I'm usually like, sasa naanza kuambia tu mashida zangu. I'm always like, I'm burdening the other person. But see, if you have that relationship of, I'm always talking to my friends, just checking up on each other, even on those days when you can't carry yourself, just knowing that those people are there is enough to push you to want to offload your burden. So for me, I think it's just systems. Having a support system, having, I don't know, just create a system. And I think I like what you said about how you take care of yourself, because the thing about a system is that my moving parts don't have to be the same as yours. The system you create for yourself doesn't have to match mine. But so long as it is working for you, then you work on that system. Yeah.
And even as you're saying about creating those systems, for me it's translating to preventing, like taking precaution. And one thing that has been I think within my circle, that even with things that I'm interacting with what's it called, content that I'm interacting with, has been the conversation about therapy. And people saying, yeah, I'm doing therapy. Then someone be like, so why are you still doing therapy even after like 10 sessions? Kwani uponi, you know.
That exactly.
You know, and in the precaution space, and you know,
that mindset precaution,
is, even when you're in a good place,
you'll still go see your therapist.
If that's part of the system that you've created. And I'm recognizing that therapy looks different
for different
people.
And even especially for us as a people, I think every time you tell someone you're going for therapy, they're just like.
But you know, I'm realizing there's some of my friends who will never, I have tried, they will never go and sit down. I've even offered to pay for their first session. I have given them a therapist's number. But they're like, weido si tuende tukule. Like, but for them, going to Karura or going to nature is very therapeutic for them. So it decompresses.
So that they don't have to sit with a therapist.
Exactly.
But there's
a thing sitting with someone with with a different perspective, and someone who's not attached to you and to what you're going through. There's something that does. And I'm recognizing that also having conversations with your friends can be therapeutic.
Can be enough therapy for you.
Some of them are not attached or emotionally tied to the things that you're going through. So someone will ask you, so why are you feeling this way? Why are you doing this? Where is this coming from? You know, and those are the things that I got to benefit from. I'm talking to myself as I'm saying this, because the last time I saw a therapist was probably 2020, 2021. But creating those, bringing that as part of your systems and things, taking time to form those connections with people who will call you out, people who will support you, people who will be there for you in happy times and in bad times. You know? And that is to also, that's a segue for us to let you know that in AYLF, we recognize that being mentally okay and healthy is a space, and is a pillar for us as a society, for us as young people, and for us as individuals. Because for you to thrive in different areas of life, be it in family, work, school, if your mental space is not okay, if you're not okay, then everything around you is affected. Because you're the common denominator. In all these other aspects, you're the common denominator. So in AYLF, we have a counseling department. So if you want to reach out to book for a session, if you're a student, if you're an alumni, if you're a young person, an old person who has come across this, please be sure to reach us out. You can DM us, you can type on the comment section, or just call us. Our phone numbers will be linked in the show notes and also
in the description
box. Now that we're on YouTube, we need to start learning this
these terms. And this is also just to say that, I mean, just whoever who's watching this, maybe for you, as Beth was saying, maybe seeing a therapist or seeing a counselor may not be it for you, but just look for those things that help you get back to being okay. I don't know what being okay even means to you, but just find those things. And let's have this conversation. Let us also know in the comment section, how do you take care of your mental health? What things do you do to stay mentally healthy? And I mean, what have you gotten from today's episode that maybe you had never thought about before? Let's have this conversation. I think this conversation is not even something that you can have today.
Actually, we are like, so
so let's keep the conversation going on our comment section. And again, you can always reach out to us if you feel like maybe there's an aspect of mental health or whatever it is that you'd want us to speak more into. We'd be open to do that. As we said at the beginning of this episode, is that we are not experts, but what would it hurt if we actually brought someone who's in that space, an expert, to speak on this?
Maybe actually one of these finalists will bring our resident
counselor
to one of these conversations.
So be sure to let us know. I believe this is where we put a comma at a full stop.
Guys, we just want to say thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button
if you haven't yet.
What else do we do on YouTube?
Share this video with whoever you think needs it.
My niece says, you see that bell? You see that bell?
Turn on the notification bell so that you're notified once we have a new episode, or just any other relevant content that we'll be putting out on our YouTube page.
And also subscribe on Spotify or any other podcasting platform that you're listening from.
And follow us on our socials, on Facebook, on X, and on
and I've
forgotten Instagram. Follow us on Facebook, on X, and on Instagram, also on YouTube, I believe, and also check out our website. The links to all that have been left in the description box notes. Yes.
Tomato. Thank you so much for watching. See you on the next one.
Bye-bye.
Adios.